My name is Mariana Goff. I'm an attorney licensed in Kentucky. I handle medical malpractice cases at Hughes and Coleman law firm. A patient injured by a doctor's negligence may have the right to file a medical malpractice lawsuit. But what does a medical malpractice lawsuit involve? An attorney must first determine whether the patient has suffered an injury and if that injury was caused by the negligence of a doctor or other healthcare provider. An attorney will also consider the value of the case, taking into consideration the patient's injuries, including medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. The opinions of medical experts is usually required to prove that the medical treatment provided to the patient was negligent and that it caused the patient's injury. In Kentucky, medical expert opinions have to be based on reasonable medical probability, which means that it was more probable than not that the patient's injuries were caused by the negligence of the doctor or hospital. There are several types of situations that can fall under the definition of medical malpractice. A misdiagnosis, for example, can occur when proper tests or exams are not performed or symptoms are not appropriately identified. Failure to diagnose cancer, failure to recognize the symptoms of stroke or heart attack, failure to diagnose appendicitis, and failure to recognize complications caused by diabetes are a few of the possible misdiagnoses that can occur. The late diagnosis can also be considered medical malpractice if the delay causes the illness or condition to advance rather than to be immediately treated. Surgical errors are another form of medical malpractice. Examples of surgical errors include operating on the wrong site, perforation of an internal organ, or leaving surgical instruments inside a patient. Such errors can lead to infection, additional surgery, extended hospital stays, and even the death of the patient. Medical malpractice can also occur during childbirth. Failure to perform a C-section, improper monitoring of a difficult or high-risk pregnancy, complications during labor, and failure to monitor the fetal heart rate can result in injuries such as brain damage, nerve damage, or death of the baby. The mother can also sustain injuries or die from childbirth. If you or a loved one has suffered an injury due to a doctor or hospital's negligence, you may have the right to file a medical malpractice lawsuit. A medical malpractice attorney can evaluate your claim.